Okay, time is 6:11 and the Pharr Planning and Zoning Commission will come to order. Roll call,
Danny Wiley,
present.
Charlie Ramirez, Jonathan Laraga, Romeo Robles, Rafael Munguia,
Present.
Luis Madrigal,
Present.
Andy Castro. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next item is public testimony. Anybody signed up?
To excuse the absent members.
Mr. Chairman, I
To-
move to excuse the absent members.
I'll
Oh, yeah,
second that.
okay. Okay, all those in favor, say aye, raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries then. Okay, now we go to public testimony.
No one signed up, Mr. Chairman.
No one signed up, okay. Approval of the minutes of August the 9th, 2021. I had a change on that. On page 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth paragraph, the last two sentences refers to that application as a renewal. It's not a renewal, it was a new one. That's the only thing I saw need to be changed,
We'll make the changes, sir.
okay? Approval of the minutes,
I move to approve the minutes as amended.
okay?
I'll second that.
Second, okay, all those in favor say aye, raise your right hand. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries. A public hearing.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Nelly Terrazas. This evening, we have 3 items. Item number 1, ELM Group LLC DBA The Bridge Bar has filed with the Planning and Zoning Commission a request for a conditional use permit and late hours permit to allow the sale of alcoholic beverages for an on-premise consumption in a general business district C. The property is legally described as being .099 acre tract of land, more or less, out of lots 1 and 2, LaVille LLC Estate Subdivision, Pharr Hidalgo County, Texas. The property is physically located at 508 West, IH2 Suites, 12 and 13. The property is currently zoned General Business District C. The surrounding area is zoned General Business District C to the east, south, north, and west. The property is generally designated for commercial in the land use plan. Police, fire, health, and planning recommends approval of the conditional use permit. Code is still pending inspection of the conditional use permit. 7 surrounding property owners were notified of the request by letter, and a legal notice was published in the Advance News Journal. Staff received no response to the letters of the legal notice. Development Services is recommending approval of the conditional use permit and late hours permit to allow the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption in a general business district C, subject to applicant and the site being in compliance with all city ordinance and city department requirements. This item will go before the City Commission meeting of September 7, 2021 at 4 p.m. And we do have representation in the audience.
Does the applicant have any comments at this time?
So,
Come up and state your name and address.
Come forward. And just say your name.
My name is Alfredo Ortiz. I'm the property of the Lem Group and the Bridge Bar and Grill. So, what I know.
Just if you have
Just-
comments.
No,
If you have any comments.
No, there's no comments. Just
Oh,
just
okay,
to
thank you.
say hi.
pleasure.
Okay, this item requires a public hearing. Is there anybody in the affected area signed up to speak on this item?
No one in the affected area, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. We'll close the public hearing. Open the item up to board discussion. None? Okay, we'll close the board discussion. Open the item up to
Item
the
num-
floor.
Yes.
Huh?
Moving forward.
Open it up to the floor for a motion.
I move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, need a second.
I'll second that.
Second, okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, item number 2, Rich Heritage Construction, Inc. Owner has filed with the Planning and Zoning Commission a request for a change of zone for Heavy Industrial District HI to Residential Multifamily High Density RMFHD in order to develop and construct fourplex on subject property. So the subject is located on the north side of West Heritage Drive and has a physical address of 3515 North Sugar Road. The property is legally described as being a 2.68 acre tract of land, more or less, out of Lot 1, Posada subdivision for Hidalgo County, Texas. The property fronts West Heritage Drive, a 50 to 60-foot local street that runs east and west with a posted speed limit of 20 to 30 miles per hour, as identified in the City of Pharr Thoroughfare Plan. The property is currently zoned Heavy Industrial District HI. The subject property and the properties to the north, south, east, and west were zoned to Agricultural and/or Open Space District AO when the properties were annexed to the City of Pharr on November 18, 1986. The property and the property to the east were rezoned to General Business District C on February 15, 2000. Later on November 3, 2014, the subject property and the property to the east were rezoned to Heavy Industrial District HI. The property to the south was rezoned to Medium Density Multifamily Residential District R3 on June 4, 2018. The property to the north was rezoned to Single Family Residential District R1 on October 5th, 1983. There have been no other zoning requests within the general vicinity of the subject property since that time. The property is generally designated for single-family residential use in the land use plan. The Residential Multifamily High Density District is established to provide adequate space on the site diversification for medium to high density areas. This may be a zone for transitional areas developed for single-family usage, but because of the need of rehabilitation or changes in the character of the neighborhood, are now deemed suitable for some multifamily development. This zone allows medium to high density developments and should be located where additional requirements for streets, water and fire protection, wastewater drainage, and adequate open space shall be met. RMFHD should not run traffic over long distances of single-family residential-sized streets or neighborhoods and should be located close to arterials or collectors capable of carrying the additional traffic. Multifamily developments are not a buffer between single-family and commercial uses and should be properly buffered from non-residential land uses and traffic, or from pollution and environmental hazards. 43 letters were mailed out to the surrounding property owners, and a legal notice was published in the Advance News Journal. Staff received no response to the letters or the legal notice. Development Services is recommending approval of the request to rezone from Heavy Industrial District HI to Residential Multifamily High Density, RMFHD, as the property meets area requirements and has adequate ingress and egress. The property is not currently compatible with the future land use plan. However, the zoning will allow the reasonable use of the property, and granting the request results in equal treatment of similarly situated properties. If approved, the owner must comply with all city ordinances and city department requirements. This item will go before the City Commission meeting on September 7th, 2021 at 4 p.m. And we do have representation in the audience.
Okay, does the applicant have any comments at this time?
No comment?
Good evening. My name is Raul Garcia. I'm the engineer for this project. The owners would like to excuse themselves, but they're in quarantine and couldn't make tonight's meeting. But I'm here if you have any questions. This will mirror the development that's across the street. So it's the same type. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this item requires a public hearing. Is there anybody in affected area signed up to speak on this item?
No one, Mr. Chairman.
None, okay, you close the public hearing. Open up the item to board discussion. No discussion? Okay, we'll close the board discussion. Open up the floor for any motions.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve change of zone 210742.
Okay,
I'll
need-
second that.
Second, Mr. Munguia. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries.
Okay, so for item number 3, Margarita Peña, owner, has filed with the Planning and Zoning Commission a request for a change of zone from agricultural and/or open space district AO to general business district C in order to develop and construct building to lease as a strength and conditioning gym. The subject site, which is located on the north side of West Minnesota Road and has a physical address of 1008 West Minnesota Road. The property is legally described as being all of Lot 17 Tri-City Acres Subdivision, Pharr, Hidalgo County, Texas. The property fronts West Minnesota Road, an 80-foot major collector that runs east and west with a posted speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less as identified in the City of Pharr's thoroughfare plan. The property is currently zoned agricultural and/or open space district AO. The property and the property to the north, east, and west were zoned to agricultural and/or open space district AO when the properties were annexed to the City of Pharr on March 6, 1984. On August 25, 2015, the property to the north was rezoned to Residential Multifamily High Density District, RMFHD. The properties to the south were annexed on September 19, 1989, and were zoned to Heavy Commercial District, HC. There have been no other zoning requests within the general vicinity of the subject property since that time. The property is generally designated for single-family residential use in the land use plan. The general business district is established to provide adequate space and site diversification for most types of commercial development in the City of Pharr. Larger shopping centers and most existing commercial strips along major arterials would be included in this district. The noise, traffic, litter, late night hours, and possible blighting influences require adequate buffering from residential areas, and the traffic from such uses should not pass through residential areas except on arterials or major collectors. 13 letters were mailed out to the surrounding property owners, and a legal notice was published in the Advance News Journal. Staff received 2 telephone calls in opposition of the item, and 1 person signed up to speak. Development Services is recommending approval of the request to rezone from agricultural and/or open space district AO to general business district C, as the property meets area requirements, has adequate ingress and egress. The property is not currently compatible with the future land use plan. However, the zoning will allow reasonable use of the property, and granting the request results in equal treatment of similarly situated properties. If approved, the owner must comply with the city ordinances and city department requirements. This item will go before the City Commission meeting on September 7th, 2021 at 4 p.m. And we also have representation in the audience.
Okay, does the applicant have any comments at this time?
Good afternoon. My name is Margarita Peña. I am the owner of this property, and we are proposing to do a gym. It is a fully enclosed. There will be no classes on the outside, so there will be minimal music because the classes are coach-led, so therefore the members will have to listen to their coach, so therefore there cannot be any loud music or anything like that. If we need to provide a privacy fence to secure any over noise or whatever, we're willing to do that, and we are willing to follow whatever the city or the planning department asks of us. Okay, so if there's any questions?
No, we just hear your comments at this time.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you very much.
Okay, this item requires a public hearing. Is anybody in the affected area signed up to speak on this item?
Yes, sir, we had Mr. Juan Carlos Frias sign up.
Good evening, Pharr City Council members. My name is Juan Carlos Frias, and I reside at 1006 West Minnesota Road. My family and I have resided at this home for almost 30 years, and we are against the rezoning of the property in question. I have with me today the signatures of 10 other residents on Minnesota Road that are also against the rezoning. The construction of a business will only increase traffic on a 2-lane old road that has no street lights, intersection lights, speed bumps, fire hydrants, or sidewalk. Within the last 6 months, 2 of our neighbors had their front fences wiped out due to drivers' impaired vision on a dark road. With the construction of the CrossFit gym, it will also impact the quality of life of myself and the surrounding neighbors due to the noise and music from the hours of 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. This also sets a precedent of someone buying a home at a residential agriculture price and then turning around to have it rezoned to a commercial for business on our street. Not to mention the eyesore of a warehouse in between homes and the effect it will have on my property value and taxes. Collectively, the average resident has been at their home for 40 plus years on this strip of what we call the Tri-City Acres of Pharr. We have seen it grow and develop, and I've been excited for many of the changes, but also want to keep our side of the street residential and not open it up for commercial building. I hope you all put yourself in our shoes and think, would you like to wake up every morning to the pounding music of a huge warehouse gym next to your home that you have been at for the last 30 years? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Mr. Diaz.
No one else, Mr. Wiley.
No one else. Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Open the floor up for board discussion.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay. In accordance with Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 through 551.087, the City of Pharr Planning and Zone Commission members will hereby go into closed session. Time is 6:27. Okay, time is 7:09, and we have returned from executive session. We'll continue with board discussion. Any further board discussion? None?
No, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Okay, we'll close the board discussion. Open the floor for motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the item.
Okay,
I'll second that, Chairman.
second. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Heriberto Martinez, your planner two for City of Pharr. Tonight, we have two plat recommendations before you. Item number one, applicant, Spur Engineering Consultants, Inc., representing Jorge Gonzalez, president of Dream Homes by J&J Real Estate CO, and Texas Corporation is requesting preliminary plat approval of the proposed Arnold Acres subdivision. The property is legally described as being a 11.56 acre tract of land out of the west, 12.5 acres of lot 107, Kelly Pharr subdivision, Pharr, Hidalgo County, Texas. The property is located within the 600 block of West Nolana Loop, FM 3461. The property is currently zoned General Business District C and Residential Multifamily High Density District RMFHD. The adjacent zones are General Business District C to the north, Single Family Residential District R1 to the south, General Business District C and Agricultural Open Space District AO to the east, and General Business District C. Open Agriculture Open Space District AO and Single Family Residential District R1 to the west. The property is designated for commercial use in land use plan. Property proposed use, apartments and retail lots. Variances, none requested. Sorry. Development Services recommends preliminary plat approval of the proposed Arnold Acres subdivision subject to the following conditions set before you. And for the record, we do have a representation in the audience.
Okay, thank you. This item does not require a public hearing, so we'll go ahead and open it up to board discussion. No discussion? Okay, we'll close the board discussion. Open up the floor for motion.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Second, Mr. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries.
Next item, R. Gutierrez Engineering Corporation, representing Alfredo Palacios and Diana Palacios. Owners are requesting preliminary plat approval of the proposed replat of Lot 24, Sing subdivision. This item, the engineer withdrew it from tonight's meeting.
Is what?
From tonight's, he withdrew it.
And withdrawn.
It's withdrawn, yes, sir. For further information on it. Withdrawn.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie.
That's the last one.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Announcements and other business?
No new business, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Only one item left, adjournment.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move to adjourn.
I need a second.
I will happily second that.
There you go. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.